Hello everyone. Today we learn how to install Python and set it up with popular IDEs. This guide works for Windows, Mac OS and Linux users. So in this tutorial, we'll focus on Windows installation and I'll paste the steps to install Python in Mac OS and Linux in separate document. Okay. For Windows installation, visit python.org.downloads and click download Python and run the Python installer. Click add python.exe to path. Click install now. Okay. So our Python 3.13 was successfully installed. So as of today, Python 3.13 is the latest version. Okay. So now we'll quickly check that our installation is successful or not. So to go to your command prompt and type python space dash dash version. Now see our Python installation is successful. Now let's see how to set up some of the popular IDEs. So first, we'll set up Visual Studio Code. Go to code.visualstudio.com, click on download for Windows. So Visual Studio Code will be downloaded. Now open the setup, click accept agreement, click next and click next and click install. So our VS Code installation is successful. Now click on finish and click launch Visual Studio Code. So here is our Visual Studio Code. Click on new file and select Python file and write a program. Print hello world. Now save this file. Go to file, save. Python.py. Okay. So now the key features of Visual Studio Code is whenever you start typing, it shows you an IntelliSense. Okay. Next, you will have a debugging page where you can debug your Visual Studio Code. Okay. So this is your debugging button. So you can debug your code from here. Run start debugging. Run without debugging. So you can easily debug your code inside Visual Studio Code. And also Visual Studio Code has integrated terminal where you can run your program even through terminal inside Visual Studio Code. You don't need to open separate terminal. Now it has code formatting options where you can easily format your code by switching this option on. Okay, so these were the key features of Visual Studio Code. Now let's see how to install another popular IDE, which is PyCharm. Go to jetbrains.com. Now let's set up another IDE, which is Python. Go to jetbrains.com and here you can see the download option. Download full-fledged professional or free community edition. So click download and then click on PyCharm Community Edition. Click download. Our PyCharm Community Edition is getting downloaded. So once it's downloaded, we'll run the installer. Our PyCharm Community Edition is downloaded successfully. Now run the installer. Okay. Run the PyCharm Community Edition installer. Click next. Click next. and again next and install. PyCharm Community Edition is installed successfully. Now click Run PyCharm Community Edition, click Finish. It will open up PyCharm Community Edition. Accept the agreement, click Continue. Okay, now keep import. Okay, so in PyCharm, we'll have customize options, plugins, and learn options. Now we'll quickly create new project, mm, Python project, and by default it will create a project environment. Click create and we'll create a new file. So right click on your project, a new file. We can say python file.py. So it will create a Python file. Type a program, print hello world. So this is the project structure of PyCharm project. When you create a PyCharm project, this is how the structure of your project looks like. This is your virtual environment. These are libraries. These are scripts. So you can create Python files. Now you can run configurations and you can run debugging tools in PyCharm. Okay. So let's not go into the details of this right now. Now let's run our program. I'll hit run button. See, our program is run successfully. Hello world is printed here. Okay. Now let's look at how to install Jupyter Notebook setup. Now let's move forward. Let's see how to install Jupyter Notebook setup. Okay, we have run the command pip install notebook. To launch our notebook, type Jup. Okay. To launch our notebook, type Jupyter Notebook. So this is launching our Jupyter Notebook installed in our system. So here are our notebooks. So I can create a new console or new Python file. I can say I can write my program, print hello world, and to save our Python program, I can say python file.py, rename. This has opened, launched our Python Jupyter. So now from this, we can create a notebook. Okay. Now you can write print hello world or run our program. See, our program has run successfully. Okay. Now let's see how to run our program in Visual Studio Code. So I have written my program and run it from the top right side, run Python file. So it runs your program. Hello world has printed here And when you go to PyCharm, you can run your program by clicking on this run Python file. It will print your result in the terminal. When it comes to Jupyter Notebook, you can run on the cell. So in Jupyter Notebook, you will have code cells and then you will have markdown cells. So you can create new markdown cells as well. So if you select on this click on this plus button, you have markdown cells. So you can write some comments and headings to describe how is the flow of your Python code, and you can add more cells and you can delete some of the cells. Okay. Okay. So we have seen how to install Python, how to confirm whether Python installation is complete. I have attached the document for macOS and Linux, how to see whether Python installation is successful or there, or how to upgrade your Python installation in macOS and in Linux, and how to set up popular three IDEs, which is Visual Studio Code and Jupyter Notebook and PyCharm Community Edition. So you can use any one of these IDEs for your practice. Visual Studio Code is lightweight and versatile. PyCharm is full featured and powerful. Jupyter Notebook is perfect for data science as it has a notebook capability where you can run your program in each individual cells and test it on the go. So that's it for today. I'll meet you in another session. Thank you. Bye bye.